Hello. We're pond side here. Just sort of feet dangling off the edge. I came to sit next to this tree which grows seemingly half out of the pond and then half out of the earth. There's Saki having a drink, which I'm guessing you can see. You can even see the beaver taste testing this tree recently. You can see they have the little chew marks on the tree, and then pulling the strip of bark off. So I'm kind of just trying to become aware of ripples and reflections. So karma in a micro sense, sort of cause and effect. Light travels, from source at the fastest speed that we can measure. But it also bounces off of, when it bounces off at the same speed. Or at least extremely fast, so it doesn't seem to me it's so much about the source as just the essence of the light itself. But in the same way, as I'm sitting here pondside, there's ripple after ripple from a fish or a muskrat or an insect or a bird getting a gulp of water. And so every ripple is just another sort of microcosmic karmic effect. Sort of takes the karma understanding out of the eons and reminds me that it's really the relationship of one moment to the prior moment. And so I'm going to kind of use that. There's a bunch of ripples, just something. I just want to use that idea to just kind of balancing my camera in the crook of the tree. So I'm just using that idea to build a practice from one moment to the next. Every moment after the first in a practice is a re-beginning of a practice. Exists in this flow, in this path from one to the next, but it's a discrete whole, that present moment. But if there's some karma brought about in that prior moment that sees fruit in the following moment or moments, then I'm building success, failure by failure. Or I'm living towards by not living up to, followed by not living up to, followed by not living up to. So I'll invite you to meditate with me. Maybe reminded by ripples, by reflections. Of the beautiful gift that is failure to the following moment through microcosmic karma. So I'll see if I can give you a view as I'm looking down the pond while we share a few breaths together. I'm presuming that you can see there. So what I like about this is that looking into the pond, the surface, I'm not indeed seeing a cloud or a tree. I'm seeing reflections of said things. And then often enough there are ripples along that surface. So I'm just going to find a very simple bit of practice to fail in my building, karmically, bit by bit, moment by moment. And so just a facet of the practice, like a quality of the breath, or a commitment to a posture or a state of release. And so, I have that ideal of all those things. I have that ideal of the breath or the posture, for example. So of course I'm probably not going to live up to that just now. But in every failure to do that, every time I'm reminded by a ripple or a reflection, I recommit to that ideal, to advancing in my own broken way, step by step, towards that ideal. So I won't tell you what mine is, what I'm working on, but I invite you to decide on a distinct piece of practice. And with every ripple or reflection, you're reminded that your failure to meet that ideal is also a step on a path. And of course, if I drop my phone into the water, we'll either have Satori or the abrupt end to our meditation. So inhale, exhale. Breathing. Thank you for joining us. Sake is just over here in the milkweed.